Today I'm just gonna bring you to explore these two tools in Photoshop. One is the brush tool and one is the eyedropper tool. Right? So we're gonna find out how these two tools can work together to improve your image, basically by editing your image. Right? Okay, so without further ado, let's start this exploration. All right. Today we're gonna learn a bit of tools at the toolbox here, and the tool that we're gonna be exploring is this one called the brush tool. The shortcut is B. All right. So I have an image here, and this is not a high resolution image because when I zoom in, it's you can see that the pixels are just showing up. All right. So I'm just going to try my best to use the brush tool and then try to smoothen the pixels around the face here so that when you zoom back out to 100%, it looks the whole entire area here looks nicer, sharper, and smoother. Right. So I'm just gonna use before I use the brush tool, right? I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to pick a color from the because this is the area that I'm going to be working on. So I'll use the eyedropper to pick a color, right? So the eyedropper is this icon here, this tool here, eyedropper. The shortcut is I, right? So you do have some other uh, tools, all right? But we're just going to focus on the eyedropper tool. So I'm just going to start from this area here. This is the left, the right cheek area. So I'm just going to pick one of the pixels. You can see from here, if I zoom in, there are lots of pixels here. So I can pick any one of these pixels, all right, using the eyedropper tool. And depending on what I want, I can pick a lighter pixel or darker pixel or even this one as well. So let's say if I pick this color here, right, do a click, and then your foreground color will show up the color that you just picked. All right. So this is the color I want. So I'll go for the brush tool. All right. So brush tool is this one. So the moment I select the brush tool, okay, your cursor becomes a circle. You should get this cursor, and in one of my previous videos that I already mentioned, you can adjust the size of the brush by applying a shortcut key on your keyboard. Alright, so let's say I can actually decrease the size of the brush like that, increase the size of the brush without having my mouse rolling over here to change the size, coming back here, you know. So the shortcut is this one here. This is the key on the keyboard that you use to decrease the size of the brush. This is the key on your keyboard to increase the size of the brush. Right? Okay, so basically I'm going to go back to my brush, and then I have already earlier picked a color. So what I do is I need to make sure that I'm using a soft round one. Okay, so I'm using one of this here. All right, so the different types of brush here. I just want to make sure that I'm using the soft round touch softness. The hardness is actually basically 0. So I'm just going to use this one, just make sure. And I will increase the size of the brush a little bit. So I'll just do like that, and then I'll just do one click. All right, you can see that it actually already smoothened the area here. So I will use the eyedropper tool. Okay, and the shortcut is I. You press I on the keyboard, it goes straight to the eyedropper. And I can pick another color here, and then I press the B key on my keyboard. It is the shortcut of applying the brush tool, right? So, and then I'll use the shortcut to change the size of the brush. Alright, so I actually decrease it. Okay, so I just click over here. Alright, and you can see that this area has been greatly smoothened. All right, I'm just going to continue to work on the other area. So just remember, this lesson we're going to apply two tools on the toolbox here. Basically, the eyedropper tool and the brush tool. So we are going to apply the shortcut. Shortcut for eyedropper is I. You should just press I on the keyboard. It will activate the eyedropper. And then for brush tool, the shortcut is B. And you press B on the keyboard, it will activate the brush tool. All right. And if you want to change the size of the brush, you can use this shortcut here. All right. So I'm just going to continue my work. So I just go for my eyedropper here. So I'm just going to click somewhere here to select this color here, and then press B on my keyboard, and then I will adjust the size of the brush to sort of okay. So you can see I smoothened it a great deal. So over here I'm going to select the eyedropper to select a pixel, and then select the brush tool, and then by pressing the B key on your keyboard. So basically, as you notice, I'm actually applying shortcuts, right? Shortcut keys. I'm no longer coming over here to access the keys, the tools, because it is a waste of time. All right, so I'll use shortcuts. All right, so right now I have just selected the color using the eyedropper tool, and now I'm on my brush tool, and I'll increase the size using the shortcut that I mentioned earlier, and just basically apply the okay. So the thing that you need to do is to always pick the color before you apply the brush, and then try to sort of you see I have made a mistake here. I'll just go to the history tool to undo this part here. Okay, and then I just pick a color here using the eyedropper. Let's say I pick a color somewhere here. Okay, so press B to activate my brush tool. Right, so it looks nice. Alright, so over here I'm just going to pick another color here. Right, then press B to activate my brush tool, and then increase the size of the brush. I'll just do one shot like that. Right, click. Right, nice. So go back to my eyedropper tool, pick another color, go back to my brush tool, and sort of adjust the size of my brush. Right, so you can apply it to a few areas here. No worries. Okay, so you can go all the way. You can just do the same for the rest of the image. Okay, I'm just going to do one last part here, which is the forehead. Alright, select the eyedropper, and then select the brush tool. I'm just basically using the shortcut. It's so makes my life so much easier using the shortcut. Okay, so over here I'm just going to pick another color, go back to my brush tool. So you can see that I'm just basically touching up the forehead, okay, by using the shortcut and increasing and decreasing the size of the brush. Okay, so I can zoom back out, and you can see that clearly that the face is so much smaller after applying this effect. Okay, thank you.